Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Oksana, and in this video I will review how you can read Geometrics of Destiny. So this video is supposed to be very helpful for those who just start reading, and once you calculate geometrics and you're looking at this bunch of numbers, it can be overwhelming. And usually when you learn on how to read geometrics, you see that people suggesting reviewing different zones of the matrix. And it could be very tempting to jump onto the zones. However, when you do that, you lose the whole picture. So I recommend not to zoom in too soon and start with reviewing the energies on the major positions first. So if we look at the matrix, the main positions are 5 points that you can see circled on the screen. It's the day of the birth, months of the birth, year. There is one at the bottom and one in the center. So you can learn about these energies as much as you can and try to bring those energies into balance. You can write down all the negative and positive characteristics, analyze which ones you perform the most, and write down the plan on how you can avoid manifesting negative ones and keeping the positive characteristics. So if we look at this particular matrix, we can see that 19th energy is energy of the sun. So the person has tremendous amount of energy. It's like a fountain of energy. They're usually very generous with attention. They can warm up and lead other people. And usually people gather around them because they're like the sun. They're a source of warmth, of prosperity. They're optimistic. They know how to feel joy, how to have fun. At the top of the matrix, there is a point where connection with the higher source or higher self. So that person will have lots of knowledge, wisdom. They like to dive deep into learning a certain subject. They're usually self-sufficient. They like to be independent, and they can give a wise advice. They gain lots of insights through own experience, and it's important for them to share those insights with other people. So these 2 points are resource points, and they're usually balanced, more balanced than the other energies. The one in the center, we have 8th energy here, so that's an energy of the balance, energy of justice, and understanding the law of karma. So the person with 8th energy in the center, they're usually very responsible, they're kind of solid, they like to be masters in something. They're really good with understanding processes and systems, creating systems by themselves. They also good with understanding the law of karma, so what comes around goes around. So they're usually very calm when 8th energy is balanced. They don't have a strong emotional reaction to the events because they understand that everything happens for the reason. They know how to learn from the events in their life. They're honest, they keep promises. The other 2 numbers that are located in red circles, those are energies that are our potential. And usually we tend not to admit or not to accept that this is part of us. So the person with 21st energy has a potential to expand. For example, if they are providing services or doing business, they can expand onto the global level, maybe through internet, or they may not accept idea that they have a potential of being peacemakers. So when they perform negative characteristics of this energy, it will have a negative effect on their material well-being and physical well-being. So this energy is also part of them, but most likely it is more a potential that they need to open up to work on rather than their strengths. When we look at the 13th energy at the bottom, most likely the person resists any changes and not open to the idea of changes. They may hold on to the old things or people from the past, or being too attached to the ones who passed away, maybe attached to the old experience, old relationship, something that is already in the past. They're not willing to look forward and move forward with the changes, with self-transformation. So now we looked only at the 5 points, but we already gained so much information about the person. As I mentioned before, you can write down those characteristics and occasionally come back to that list, because we tend to forget. We can't bring these energies but into balance over the night. It's continuous process. So sometimes it's good to remind yourself on these major positions in your matrix. So the next step, you can review major positions located on the ancestors' lines. And I recommend reviewing major positions first. All these little numbers go into addition to number on the main circle. And also you can review your karmic tail. With the ancestors line, you may heard that it's important to work on the personal square first and not to touch the ancestor square. I think that you can work on both, and getting to know what those energies are about is important, because if we bring these energies back to balance, this will help us to create stronger relationships and be more successful in life. Most likely, 2 numbers located at the bottom will be more in disbalance than the ones on the top. Also, the number located in the top left corner, in this particular case it's 10th energy, is also a resource point for us. This energy describes what will inspire us, and also when we activate this energy, when we bring it to balance, we will receive more energy, so we will be more resourceful. And the karmic tail, of course, is important to get to know your karmic tail. What's your task, what common scenarios are very likely to happen, and how you can resolve it, and how you can bring those energies back to balance. Next, review your tasks. There are 3 tasks: personal, social, and general. So before age 40, we learn about ourselves, we develop, and it's good if you bring these energies into balance by age 40. Otherwise, there could be some troubles. The social tasks are the energies that we need to balance out by age 60. So this is the time when the person gives back to the society. And general task describes overall what our life is about. So in this particular case, if we just look at one number for each task, for the personal, before age 40, the person will need to be honest, understanding the law of karma, being fair to other people, keep promises, being responsible, and being a master of something. For the social life, 7th energy, it's about accomplishing goals, ideally with the team, being a leader in the team, accomplishing goals peacefully, motivating other people, moving forward without too much aggression, without too much competition. And in general, 15th energy, the energy of transformation. So this person may have an influence on other people. It's good if they influence other people with a good cause or good purpose. And also with 15th energy as a general task, the person may go through different temptations in life. The more they succeed in bringing this energy into balance, the more successful they will be in life. To calculate personal task, there is a skyline, the vertical line. So you need to combine 9 plus 13, the top number and bottom number. So that's the sum is 22. And earth line is the horizontal line. So in this case, it's 19 plus 21 is 40. So that's 4 plus 0 is 4. And for the social line, you need to combine 2 numbers on the ancestors line, on the paternal and maternal lines. And general is the sum of personal and social, so 8 plus 7 is 15. So all these tasks doesn't mean that once you pass 40 you don't care about the skyline and earth line. No, these energies will have an influence on you the entire life, And it's important to keep in balance 22 and 4th as well as 17 and 8 on the social tasks. General also can play a role not only after 60 but generally in life. And as a first step, then you can look at different zones in matrix, and then you can look at the code of 3 energies together. So in this case, you can look at the talents. The talents are located at the top of the matrix. They describe what you're good at, what strengths you brought with you in this life, and usually they are balanced. However, in some cases they can go in disbalance. Then there is a parent-child relationship, that 19-10-9 numbers. You can also combine them. So in addition to 19th energy, we can also say that the person is easygoing, they like to be in a group of people. And then 9 energy, they can be reserved, they can be self-sufficient, they are able to give a wise advice again. Then you can review money line. In this case, it's 11, 16, and 5. Then material karma, 11, 5, 21, and relationship line. And also on the ancestors line, you can also look at the smaller numbers. They will be in addition to the larger ones. However, if this is too overwhelming, I would suggest just leaving them to review for later. So this is how you can read your metrics on your own. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.